college baseball is into conference play. For some conferences, it started last weekend for the SEC and I believe some other conferences, but I know for certain the SEC it starts this weekend. And it's exciting, especially as state fans on the state podcast. We talk state baseball every week when we do our state recap on Mondays. We talk all Mississippi State sports on Mondays for like 20 minutes. But today I wanted to give more of a bird's eye view of college baseball, talk about some players who are having elite seasons, talk about some question marks, teams that are not living up to expectations, with the massive caveat for everything that I recognize that teams can turn it around. I'm not ringing alarm bells for any teams. I'm just talking about...
Can I ring the alarm bell?
For
South Carolina?
For South Carolina? Yes, you can ring the alarm bell for South Carolina. We'll actually talk about that. Yes, we'll talk about that. They're in my notes. I'm going to talk about Arkansas as a team that's underperformed to date, recognizing that they could still perform great in conference play. They could lock in and play really well and still host a super regional, right? Like, the season is not over by any means. I'm just going to talk about some teams that are underperforming and overperforming to date.
Sure.
No alarm bells will be rung except for South Carolina, which I believe we can elaborate on why that makes a lot of sense when we get there. But we're going to start it off with some of the teams that, like, as a whole, I don't get to watch, I don't watch a whole lot of college. I watch every Mississippi State baseball game, and then I live on college baseball Twitter. So I know a lot about college baseball, and I'm going to start watching more because looking at these stats that I've been pulling up, it's like I really want to watch some of these guys play because this is just so cool. We're going to start off with the teams right now that are hitting the best. And number one is, not surprisingly, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is one of the teams that I think has met expectations most realistically. As a team, they're hitting over 400. They're led by Alex Hernandez, who's hitting over 500. He's hitting 526 in the season. He's been really good. They've got 4 guys who have seen a qualifying number of at-bats who are hitting over 400, and then they have 8 guys hitting over 350. So almost their entire lineup is hitting over 350. Offensively, Georgia Tech has been kind of the standard as far as consistency goes. We'll get to power in a little bit later. We've got another team that has the dominant number 1 spot for that. And I know you haven't watched a lot of baseball, Jack. I'm curious to know if you know who it is.
I'm pretty sure I can get it.
Okay. Second best team in baseball at the plate, Texas Tech. This is actually a really cool story because
shout out CT.
Their best player right now, Jesse Rusinek, is a freshman. And I apologize if I said that wrong. But Jesse's batting 500. He's a freshman. So that's really cool. They also have 10 players hitting above 350. And all of those guys have and then 15, everyone with 15 or more plate appearances, which isn't a lot, but that was the cutoff, is hitting over 357. So they have a lot of guys. No way that's him.
I knew I recognized the name.
No way.
He did get charged with a DWI
well,
last week.
That's tough for him.
But he's still playing.
Yeah.
So it's,
That's
he's good enough. He gets the I'm a great player, so I don't face repercussions.
Exactly.
Unfortunately. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you. I remember that name from somewhere.
I didn't remember the name, but once I saw the photo of his mugshot, I was like, there's no way that's him. Anyway, third is Florida Gulf Coast. They're kind of they stand out on this list, right? Because you have 4 P4 schools. I don't know if does baseball, do they have the P4 and then mid-major, or is that a basketball thing?
They probably use it. It's not as well known.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it still plays.
Yeah, well, Florida Gulf Coast is hitting 355. Their DH, Javier Gorostola is hitting 459. So they're hitting really well as a team. Mississippi State. Do you know who the best hitter on Mississippi State is right now? From batting average. By batting average.
By batting average.
Yeah, who has the best batting average on the team?
I'm deciding if I want to go trying to make a deep cut or it's an obvious.
It's not the obvious decision. It's not the 2. It's not Ace Reese or Noah Sullivan.
Is it Garrick Fry?
It is not Garrick Fry.
Is it Wires?
No, it's not Wires.
Okay.
It is Bryce Chance.
Oh,
Bryce Chance.
He's an average guy.
Shout out Beans. Yes, he's a singles guy, but he is one of the best singles guys in the country. He's great defensively.
But he's not single.
No, he's not single. He's married. He is married. He's hitting 422, and he's our 9-hole hitter, which is awesome. It's so much fun to have the 9-hole come up and just feel so confident about him getting on base. But we also have 6 players hitting over 400 with 30-plus plate appearances. So top to bottom, the team is hitting really well. And then Georgia is 5th, hitting 353. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th are hitting 355, 354, and 353. So it's a tight packing when you have Georgia Tech at 410 and then Texas Tech at 378. Henry Allen is their team lead at 415, and then they have 8 players hitting over 350, all of them with 47 or more plate appearances. So those are your best teams at the plate as far as batting average goes, getting on base. They're fantastic. And then let's get to power. Just some teams I want to highlight here, looking in at offense. Do you know who the best team in the country is when it comes to home runs?
Is it UCLA?
It is not.
Okay.
They are not top 5.
Really? Let me.
Which is crazy because they have the number 1 player in the country when it comes to home runs.
Well, that's why I said it.
They do not. They have the number
got passed.
2 player in the country, I think.
Well, I just knew they had him, and then I knew they obviously had Rock.
Yes.
So I figured maybe that I would just, and then they're obviously really good.
Yep.
Best team in the country in terms of, is it Texas?
It is not. Not in the top 5.
Is it an SEC school, though?
It is an SEC school. It's an SEC school. I believe they led the country 2 or 3 years ago.
In homers or just
in home runs? They were dominant. At least they were very good at it. They had Charlie Condon.
Oh, it's Georgia then.
Yes, it is Georgia. Georgia leads the country in home runs with 61. The next best team has 44.
Jeez.
Yeah, they are nuking the ball right now. Daniel Jackson leads the team with 14. He also leads the country in home runs. Vanderbilt's got 44. Georgia Tech is at 38, and they've got 2 guys who've already hit 7 home runs. NC State's at 36. And then Ole Miss is also at 36. So you got a 2-way tie for 5th place. On the mound, the best pitching staff in the country right now, took me by surprise. It's a former baseball powerhouse, USC. They've got some absolute dogs on the mound. Mason Edwards has not allowed a single run through 24 innings.
Shout out Mason.
Grant Govel has allowed an ERA of .35 through 26 innings. And then Andrew Johnson has allowed just under 2 runs through 20 innings. Another baseball team that has been kind of, I would say, good more recently, Clemson. Yeah. I believe they hosted a super regional 2 years ago, maybe 3. Their team ERA right now is 2.17. They've got 2 guys who have ERAs under 1 right now. Texas is on here, unfortunately for you.
Max Wiener working wonders for them.
Yep. Roger Riojas has pitched 22 innings, allowing 1.2 runs a game. Dylan Volantis, 1.5 runs a game, or ERA with 20. It's weird to say it is a game, but he has a 1.5 ERA. But that's the same thing as saying 1.5 runs a game. No, it's not.
Well, I mean, it's per 9. It's per 9 innings.
Yeah.
But technically, a game isn't always 9 innings.
That's true.
But it doesn't necessarily not work.
I'll try and correct my lingo though. I got to use the right words.
You typically just say he has a
1.5 ERA.
Yes.
Auburn is 4th, led by Jake Marciano, a 1.23 ERA. UC Santa Barbara is 5th on the list. They've been really good so far. 2.5 team ERA with Jackson Flora leading the team with a 1.5 ERA. So those are like your best teams in the country as far as batting average, power, ERA goes. Let's also look at some of the best players in the country. These are guys I've got batting average, home runs, earned run average, and strikeouts. And unfortunately, no Mississippi State players make an appearance on this list. I was very sad about that.
Y'all are a deep team. It's okay.
Yeah, we're top to bottom. We're one of the best teams in the country. But right now, we don't have anyone that's like on the top of these lists. It is really cool. Like I said, I want to watch more baseball now because there's a lot of guys on here who play for like small schools. Mercer's got some guys on here, or a guy Fairfield, Youngstown State. Youngstown.
I don't know.
Youngstown State. Gonzaga, Western Carolina. So smaller schools have some players on here. But right now, the best player in the country hitting 547 is Tanner Malley from Western Michigan. Second best, we already talked about him, Alex Hernandez, first baseman for Georgia Tech. One guy I really want to talk about, Miami has a freshman who's hitting 514, Dylan Dubovic, which is really cool. I'll be interested to see. Miami has been good at baseball, but right now they're not a baseball school, I would say, right?
No, they're pretty good, I'd say.
Okay.
Because maybe I'm just like saying they're pretty good because they're like they always play a weekend series against Florida, and it's such a big rivalry, and it always feels like a big deal. But I feel like they're typically pretty good. I mean, they're not like elite right now, that's for sure.
And it is also hard when you're in a state with Florida State and Florida. Florida State, I believe, holds the record for most NCAA tournament appearances ever, and then Florida has multiple national championships in the last 15, maybe 20 years. So I'm not trying to belittle Miami, but they kind of stand out in that state as, or it's tough to be in a state. I mean, Florida's almost as good as Mississippi when it comes to baseball. Other players who, let's look at home run leaders. Daniel Jackson at Georgia. Will Gasparino is the UCLA guy that you were talking about. Yep. He is third with 11 home runs. And then Rocco? How do you say his last name? Do you know? Chowalski?
Chowalski? I just can't be it. Can I see the spelling of it real quick?
He's not on the list. It's
Chowalski?
It's because it's
Cholowski?
It's CHOLOWSK.
I had the W and the L flipped in the spelling in my head. Hence how I got to Chowalski. Mike Wazowski.
Anyway, he's not on the list, but his UCLA teammate is Will Gasparino. Best pitchers in the country right now. None of these guys have allowed a run, and many of them have pitched several games. Right, they're all starters. Braden Gephardt at Youngstown State, 26 innings pitched. Mason Edwards at USC, 24 innings pitched. Ben Alexson at Fairfield, 22 innings pitched. Matt Saucer at UCF. Mason Snyder at Western Carolina, and Landon Hood at Gonzaga. I want to watch Western Carolina and Gonzaga games now. That's cool. The best teams in the country as far as strikeouts, or best players, excuse me. Dax Whitney at Oregon State. That's a name that's very familiar to me. And I know Oregon State's been, maybe I'm thinking of a different Dax, but he's got 45 strikeouts. That's the best in the country right now. Mason Edwards at USC, 42 strikeouts. All right, Ruger Riojas at Texas. That looks right. Ruger Riojas.
It's just Ruger Rojas, I believe. Yeah, I think you're right.
The I in there makes me feel like there should be more than just Rojas. It's RIO.
Yeah, I still think it's just Rojas.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong.
He's tied for second with 42 strikeouts. Chris Lavonis at Wake Forest with 41 strikeouts. And then last, or in fifth place in the country right now, Ethan Lund has 40 strikeouts at Oklahoma State. So those are like your best players around the country right now. And then those are just some player highlights I want to talk about.